The whole truth? Nothing but the truth? The hidden truth. The vital human drama of the famous lie detector, bringing you authentic case histories from the files of the late Leonard Keeler, one of the world's foremost scientific criminologists. Mr. Keeler's real-life part is played by Hart McGuire, who reveals from week to week some of the most baffling human dramas of our time. The hidden truth.
Probably no other scientific development for the detection of crime has received as much publicity as the polygraph or so-called lie detector. Nationwide publicity has made the public lie detector conscious. But one individual who follows the career of the lie detector with much more than passing interest, the one who reads every article written about it with avid attention, is the criminal or the potential criminal. Through careful study of the records, the criminal knows the lie detector is better than 90% accurate in exposing the hidden truth. And he knows the polygraph has brought about more confessions than any other form of crime investigation. Thus, the criminal has learned to fear the polygraph with a deep and a horrible dread. And the very prospect of being submitted to a lie test often forces a confession in advance of the test itself. A criminal's fear of the lie detector is the basis for tonight's drama. The drama of a man with an uncontrollable urge. The urge to kill women. Mrs. Alvin Van Ess, an attractive woman in her middle 30s, had a feeling that something was wrong. Her husband of just a few months had been staying away for days at a time, and Mrs. Van Ess had become obsessed with the suspicion that he was living a double life, that Alvin Van Ess was married to another woman. She was so convinced her suspicions were well-founded that she sent for a private detective named Harry Underwood.
4 whole days. I haven't seen Alvin in 4 whole days, Mr. Underwood.
How long did you say you'd been married to him?
Since the 15th of April. That's less than 2 months ago.
I've taken plenty of guys who go out on private joyrides away from their wives, but most of them have been married more than 2 months.
I never should have given him that property.
You gave him some property?
2 days after the wedding, he told me the only way to have a marriage turn out successfully is to permit the husband to run all of his wife's affairs.
The guy's a super salesman. I can never make my little woman buy that kind of fiction. Matter of fact, she runs my affairs. And now?
Above everything else, I wanted our marriage to be successful. But now I realize how foolish I was.
Tell me, Mrs. Van Ess, how long did you know this, Alvin before you married him?
Well, it was terribly sudden. I answered an ad in the paper.
What? You mean he advertised for a wife?
Yes.
Lady, you don't need a private detective. You need a brain specialist.
Oh, I know. But if you could understand how lonely I've been since my parents died and
left you with a nice fat parcel of real estate. You still got that ad?
Yes. Yes, it's right here in my desk.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
What's that pile of stationery? Is that your signature signed at the bottom of each sheet?
Alvin asked me to sign this stationery for him.
Alvin did, eh?
He said I was to be his partner in business. He said he'd have to write a lot of letters to clients, and it would save a lot of time if I signed blank stationery in advance.
Yeah, may I see that ad?
Here it is.
An affluent gentleman, neat appearing and of courteous disposition, well connected in a business way, has quite a little property and is connected with several corporations. Has a nice bank account as well as a nest egg of government defense bonds. Would be pleased to correspond with a refined lady or widow with equal financial holdings. Object, matrimony, and business partnership. This advertisement is in good faith. answers will be treated with respect. Alvin G. Van Ess, Townhouse. Same old come on.
Well, have you seen that ad before, Mr. Underwood?
Well, not this particular ad, but 100 just like it. How old are you, Mrs. Van Ess?
Well, I...
Come on. I'm not going to broadcast it. I'm just professionally curious, that's all.
I'm 36.
36. And you let some guy hook you for your property? You act more like 16.
Oh, please, Mr. Underwood, I hired you to help me. I know I was a fool, but all I want now is my property back and my marriage annulled.
So that's all you want, as simple as that, eh? Maybe the guy's acting in good faith. It isn't easy to prove fraud between husband and wife.
How can he be in good faith when he's away half the time? There's another woman, I know there is.
Well, there might be. But what makes you sure he's married to her?
Well, because he's away exactly half the time. He's with me 4 days and with her 4 days.
That's not much to go on, you know. If he's in real estate, he might be away for 4 days at a time on legit business.
But there's something else, Mr. Underwood.
Yeah?
He told me he'd never been married before.
Oh. You think he has been?
I know he has. He's so experienced with women. You've got to find that other woman, Mr. Underwood. It's the only way I'll ever get my property back and get out of this awful mess.
When did you see him last?
This morning. When he left, he said he'd be away on his usual 4-day business trip.
Now, look, Mrs. Van Ess, I'll try to get a line on him, but if I don't, I'll have to wait till he comes home and tell him on his next trip out. But if you want me to help you, don't do anything that might tip him off. Just act like the devoted bride, and whatever you do, don't let him know you suspect anything.
The assignment given Harry Underwood by Mrs. Alvin Van Ess was similar to many cases he'd handled before, with similar complications. As a private detective without official police department sanction, Harry knew he had no legal authority to make arrests or to force entrance. But his job was to get evidence for private clients such as Mrs. Van Ess, and if that evidence pointed to crime or misdemeanor, the district attorney's office would have to take it from there. After making the usual check at railroad, bus, and airport with no definite leads on Alvin Van Ess, Underwood went to the address Van Ess had listed in his newspaper ad, the Townhouse. He didn't go to the registration desk. Instead, he went to a friend of his of long standing, Carl Steger, the hotel's house detective.
Van Ess, huh? Yeah. His wife's a client of mine.
His wife? Since when's he had a wife?
Since a couple of months ago. Why? What a surprise to you, Carl?
Not to me, it ain't. But I know a lot of dames around this hotel will cry their eyes out if they ever find out about it.
Yeah? Keeps a stable full of fillies, huh?
He ain't keeping them, Harry. As far as I can figure out, they're keeping him.
Bad. Hey, maybe you and me ought to take a few lessons from that guy. See what he got.
That being a dame, I couldn't answer that. To me, he's just a plain-looking little schmo with kind of droopy eyes and a long, sad face. Maybe he's got something that don't show right offhand.
Yeah. Is he still living here?
Not right now. Checks in and out from time to time. I ain't seen him in a couple of months. Guess he's coming back, though.
Well, what makes you think so?
Last time he checked out, he left a couple of bags stored down in the basement.
A couple of bags, huh?
Yeah. I know what you're thinking, Harry, and the answer is
I thought you were a friend of mine, Carl.
Not good enough to lose my job over. I don't come in for monkeying with guest baggage.
Carl, if I were to send you out for beef steak and you just happen to leave your pass key here on your desk.
Get lost, Harry.
If you were to accidentally tell me the number of the storage locker where the Van Ess bags are kept.
Not a chance, Harry.
And if I were to forget all about the sawbuck I loaned you 6 months ago?
You checked that off the books, huh?
I will.
The stuff is in locker 16, and here's the key. Just leave it on my desk when you're through, but don't take nothing with you out of that locker.
Thanks, Carl.
No, just wait till I get out of the building before you go to work. If I ain't here, nobody can hold me responsible for nothing. At almost that very moment, Alvin Van Ess, the little man with the droopy eyes and the long face, was in another city about 75 miles away. Specifically, he was drifting on a park lagoon in a rented boat. And the companion who snuggled close beside him was a comely red-haired woman in her early 40s.
Alvin.
Yes, Myrtle?
When I answered your ad, I didn't really expect anything but wonderful as this.
Oh? What did you expect?
Well, I was terribly suspicious at first. I thought it was just a trick to take my securities away from me.
Myrtle, such a thought. I'm positively astounded and I'm deeply hurt.
Oh, now that I know you, and now that I've become your wife, I'm not suspicious anymore, and I wouldn't hurt you for the world.
My dear, I thought I'd give you very good reasons for turning over your securities to me. To contract a successful marriage, a husband and wife must form a partnership with the husband naturally at the head of the corporation.
Oh, naturally.
Must you sigh in such a disgusting manner, Myrtle? You've been snorting like that all evening.
Alvin!
Things like that get on my nerves, my dear. There's so many irritating things about women.
Oh, but Alvin, I had no idea that... what are you going to do?
Just because of those irritating things, the Lord only knows how many women I've killed, Myrtle.
Killed?
I have no control over myself. Something's making me do it. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Alvin, sit down
I'll
that
kill every
door.
woman in the world. I kill all of them.
Early the next morning, Private Detective Harry Underwood called at the office of District Attorney Frank Dennis.
Now, don't go asking this office to help you out in any of your private deals, Underwood. I just let you in here for laughs.
Very funny.
Last time I helped you out, all I got was a panning full of newspapers, and you collected a fat fee.
Now, Frank, tell me. In your book, bigamy is a crime, isn't it?
Huh? What do you got, Harry?
Bigamy.
You sure?
Now, let's dump the whole case in your desk.
Let's have it.
There's a suitcase and storage locker over the townhouse. Women's clothes, half a dozen cheap wedding rings, 8 marriage licenses, the Mr. Custom jewelry, and $8,000 worth of defense bonds.
Now, wait a minute. How did you get into that suitcase?
Frank, come now. Remember the ethics of our profession. You don't really expect me to answer that, do you?
Whose case are you working on?
Private husband and wife deal. The wife suspected another woman and put me on the trail, that's all.
What's the name?
Van Ess. Alvin Van Ess.
Mm-hmm. I'll better check the files on Van Ess. Alvin. Now, Van Ess, V as in Victoria. Bring in anything you find.
Don't know what the guy's real name might be. Those marriage licenses in the suitcase give you a choice of 8 different ones.
Where's the suitcase now?
Locker 16 of the townhouse. You don't think for a minute I lifted, do you?
Yes, I do, Harry. You've lifted hotter evidence than that.
Sometimes I wonder why I do business with you, Dennis. You're an insulting kind of guy, you know that?
Yeah. Insults roll off your back like a bucket of water. Yes, Betty.
I couldn't find anything on Alvin Van Ess in the files, Mr. Dennis.
Yes, but what?
A man's waiting outside to see you. And his name is Alvin Van Ess.
The Hidden Truth continues in just a moment.
Before admitting Alvin Van Ess into his office, District Attorney Frank Dennis sent Harry Underwood out the side door with instructions to pick up the incriminating suitcase as quickly as possible. This time, Harry was armed with an official order permitting him to enter the locker and seize the suitcase. As soon as the private detective was on his way, Alvin Van Ess was ushered in.
Sit down, Mr. Van Ess.
No, thank you. I'm altogether too outraged to relax.
Oh? What's your complaint?
Mr. Dennis, I've been robbed of $8,000 worth of defense bonds.
Defense bonds? Who'd rob you of those? They can't be cashed without your signature.
Yes, but other things are missing, too. Jewelry and important things.
Yeah, well, suppose you give me the details.
Yes, well, when I checked out of the townhouse to get married, I left some bags there for storage. When I went to claim them today, I discovered the theft. The contents of one of the bags had been completely removed. Under the circumstances, Mr. Van Ess, I think I'd better lay a few cards on the table.
What? Are you insinuating that you know something about this?
Just this. For reasons of his own, a private detective searched your suitcases last night, Mr. Van Ess.
Come on, who's authority?
Unfortunately, private detectives are impulsive. They sometimes act without legal authority of any kind.
I demand his arrest.
I'll be only too happy to comply with your demands, but I feel as though I must inform you that he reported marriage licenses in that suitcase and wedding rings and other such paraphernalia suggesting that you might be a bigamist, Mr. Van Ess.
A bigamist? Marriage license? Wedding rings? Why, the only marriage license I know anything about is the one issued when I was married 2 months ago. The only wedding ring I ever bought is on my wife's finger right now. That man's trying to frame me, deliberately frame me, and he's the thief who stole those bonds.
I wouldn't put it past him, but I hardly think he'd take that kind of a chance.
But who hired him? Who hired him to investigate my belongings?
I'm afraid you'll have to discuss that with him. For obvious and ethical reasons, I'll have to withhold his client's name.
Did my wife hire him?
To change the subject, let's get back to this alleged robbery. Now, what
I said, did my wife hire him?
Van Ess. I suggest that you go home and wait until I call. I'm going to handle this case personally, and I promise you fast action. You can depend on that.
Greetings, my dear.
Oh, Alvin.
What's this, Florence? You're trembling.
Oh, why, of course I am. I didn't expect you home for 2 more days, Alvin. I couldn't imagine who was walking in here without knocking.
But I finished my business rather earlier than I anticipated. Perfume?
Do you like it?
I don't know. What you call it, Florence?
Oh, it has a silly name. Well, you know how silly names of perfumes are.
What name have they given the perfume you're using?
It's called Sudden Death.
Sudden Death. Appropriate.
Alvin, you look terribly strange. Are you angry with me?
It's merely an urge, my dear.
Urge?
Yes. An urge to take you by the throat like this.
Alvin! Oh, Mr. Underwood is here with the suitcase, Mr. Dennis, and he's brought Mr. Stager with him.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Stager, Carl Stager, the detective at the townhouse.
Oh, yes. Well, show those file advances in here.
I heard that, Dennis, and I don't like the record.
Let's have that suitcase, Harry.
It won't do you any good. My pal Stager here saw a chance to clean it out and put the rap on me.
I cleaned nothing out. Harry Underwood wheedled the passkey out of me and got me out of the building. I wasn't even around when he lifted the stuff out of that bed.
Betty.
Yes, Mr. Dennis?
Outside.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, let's get this straight. I understand from the compliments you gentlemen are exchanging that suitcase is quite empty.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, as you know, I've been plagued considerably by private detectives who overstep the bounds of their authority.
Now, don't start that again, Frank. After all, a living is a living, and
Either you or Stager or Alvin Van Ess or all 3 of you are in for a cooling off. Now, we're all going out to the Van Ess place right now and find out which way the chips fall.
Mr. Dennis, it's quite obvious to me that this entire thing is a frame-up between this Underwood person and my wife.
It's no frame-up, Van Ess. Your wife suspected you of bigamy, and I had the goods on you until you cleaned that suitcase out yourself. Preposterous.
You notice, Mr. Dennis, he's quit laying it on to me and blaming Van Ess, for which I am grateful indeed.
Shut up, all of you. Shut up. Now, Mr. Van Ess, if your wife has any suspicions, I'd like to question her about them. Where is she?
She left me this note, Mr. Dennis, and she's gone out of town to visit relatives in the West.
Hey, let me see that note. Yeah, what do you think you're doing, Underwood? Frank, he wrote this himself on a typewriter. I saw a whole pile of blank stationery where he got his wife to sign at the bottom of each page.
What? Why, that's absurd.
Absurd, eh? Well, I'll show you.
Here, stay out of that, sir. Underwood. Hey, Kilo out, Frank. The whole pile's gone. Now, look here, mister.
Look here, all of you. Now, I want all three of you to get in my car. We're going down to see Keeler at the lie detector lab and get to the bottom of this thing.
Lie detector?
Yes, the Keeler polygraph. Any objections, Mr. Van Ess?
Why should I object?
You know better than I. What about you, Harry?
If Van Ess will go for it, count me in.
Figure?
Well, of course, working around a hotel, a man is subjected to certain temptations, and it might be embarrassing.
The only questions Keeler will ask you will pertain to this particular case. Now, what about it?
Well, under them conditions, this is okay.
Alvin Van Ess was the first to enter one of my private interrogation rooms. Mr. Van Ess, are you familiar with the way the polygraph operates?
Yeah, I've read quite a bit about it, yes.
Then you know there's very little chance to beat the polygraph, Mr. Van Ess.
Yes, so I understand.
Are you ready to go ahead with the test?
Yes. Yes, I'm ready.
Van Ess, what are you doing with that penknife?
I'm quite ready to...
Look, Dennis! Dennis, come in here! What's he done? It was almost midnight at the county hospital. Frank, Dennis, and I had been waiting hours for a report on the condition of Alvin Van Ess. If he improved, we might get the story. If not, the secret of his crimes might die with him. Oh, how does he look, Dr. Fleming?
We've stopped the loss of blood, and he's resting pretty comfortably.
Any chance of talking to him tonight, Doctor?
In a few minutes. The nurse is getting him ready. I think you've got a moral imbecile on your hands, gentlemen.
What?
That term was originated by the early criminologists, Frank. They figured out about 20% of the people apprehended for major crimes are suffering from some moral defect.
Moral imbecile, huh?
Unfortunately, individuals in this group rarely, if ever, respond to any form of treatment thus far devised by society.
I'm genuinely sorry, gentlemen.
Van Ness!
I'm genuinely sorry, gentlemen, but I couldn't control myself. My nurse was an irritating woman, and therefore I found it necessary to kill her.
In the stark white light of a hospital room, we heard the unbelievable confession of Alvin Van Ess. A confession forced by his fear of the lie detector. A confession that made the fancied crimes of Bluebeard insignificant in comparison.
I must have been born with some strange personal magnetism over women, but they were all repulsive to me. All of them. It seemed quite easy for me to marry women who were fine and educated and had small fortunes of their own. Sometimes I was married to as many as 4 at the same time, living in the same city.
You mean none of these wives suspected the game you were playing?
Only Florence suspected. You'll find her body underneath the board floor of my garage.
Yes. About those blank sheets of writing paper you got your wives to sign.
Hmm? Oh, yes. After I murdered a wife, I would continue writing to her friends and relatives. I would use a typewriter above her own signature. In that way, there would be no suspicion of anything had happened to her.
Just how many wives have you killed, Mr. Van Ess?
I really couldn't tell you.
What? Don't you know?
There were so many. The 2 I pushed over the falls at Alberta, the one in the Park Lagoon, and the one who lisped to the point of driving me out of my mind. And
How many, Van Ess? How many?
I can't be sure. There must have been at least 20.
20?
I couldn't control myself. Something snapped inside my head. I had to kill women.
Oh.
do you think, Bard? Think a psychiatrist can find out what makes a man like Van Ess tick?
Possibly, but I doubt it, Frank. I'm inclined to agree with August Vollmer, who's rated as the greatest criminologist in the country today.
What's his theory?
According to Mr. Vollmer, there's no single cause of crime. The reasons for delinquency are complex. Punishment is not the solution. There's no simple remedy. The homicidal impulses of Alvin Van Ess might have been checked in the formative stages of childhood, but who knows? It's a job for science, Frank. And all we can do is keep working at it and hope someday we'll find the right answer.
The Hidden Truth. The vital human drama of the famous lie detector, bringing you authentic case histories from the files of the late Leonard Keeler, one of the world's foremost scientific criminologists. Mr. Keeler's real-life part is played by Hart Maguire, who reveals from week to week some of the most baffling human dramas of our time. The Hidden Truth. Incredible history of the lie detector, I can't remember a more incredible series of events than those which shaped the human drama about to unfold this evening. About 3 o'clock one cold and blustery winter's morning, Mrs. Alex Graham cried out in her sleep.
I can't stand it. Alex, wake up, please.
There was no answer to Mrs. Graham's outcry.
Alex! Oh, what's the use? Oh, I'd better phone myself. Operator, get me a doctor, please. I'm in terrible pain. What? Oh, any doctor. Oh, 1214 Avenue A. Hurry. Oh, hurry, please.
Hello in there.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Glad to see you, officer. Maybe you'd better look into this.
Yeah? First, I think I'd better look into you. What are you doing out here, pounding on doors this time of the morning?
Excuse me, I can understand how I might look suspicious.
Very suspicious. What's your name?
Dr. Mills. I'm an intern on the staff at Memorial Hospital.
Yeah? Live in this neighborhood?
No, the phone company called in and said someone in this house wanted a doctor in a hurry. I tried the bell a half dozen times, and I've been pounding on the door. Maybe we'd better break in.
Now, wait a minute. You got proof you're a doctor?
Yeah, shine your flashlight on this.
Looks okay. But I can't break down any doors without a court order.
Look, officer, someone in this house is sick or they wouldn't call a doctor. Do you think this is any time to worry about legal red tape?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather wait for the sergeant to come around. If he says it's okay...
I'll soon leave you around.
He makes the rounds about every hour. Let's see, he drove through this neighborhood about 35 minutes ago. That means he ought to be...
You think I'm going to stand here and wait 25 minutes when someone might be dying in there?
What about my job? If I make a decision like this and the sergeant don't like it, I'm liable to get shipped to the sticks somewhere.
Well, let's assume that you didn't make the decision. I did. Come on, let's try to crack this door.
Wait. I don't like this one bit. I'd better walk down to the call box and phone the station.
Then please hurry. I'll keep knocking on the door and see if I can rouse anyone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever be able to get downstairs.
Hey, what's the trouble here, lady?
Never mind, I'll handle this. Here, I'd better help you over that sofa. Give me a hand, officer.
I tried to get my husband up, but nothing ever wakens him.
He must be an early sleep and stay in bed for all this racket.
Here, now lie down here, please. I've never had such a sharp pain in my life. Oh, it's almost like a knife.
Where is the pain?
In my side. Right here.
A little pressure here.
Officer.
Yeah, what is it, Foxy?
I'm going to wrap my coat around her and get her down to the hospital in my car. I don't want to take the time to wait for an ambulance.
That bad?
Have to help us out to the car, come back and phone Memorial Hospital. Tell them to put in a call for Dr. Warren.
Warren?
Yes, chief surgeon on the staff. Tell him to get the operating room ready for an emergency appendectomy. Then try to get her husband up and tell him what's happened. I hope I got her here in time, Dr. Warren.
Mills, I don't like the looks of this.
Is something wrong?
No inflammation whatsoever. Perfectly normal appendix.
What? But there was every symptom. I'd be willing to swear that...
I know. Looks like an emergency case to me, too.
Severe pain in that region. What would any doctor think?
Nurse?
Dr. Warren, she stopped breathing. She's...
Oxygen. Oxygen at once. Mills, I don't know what to say about this. We made a bad error in diagnosis.
Well, we thought we were doing our best for her. No one can deny that.
I'll make out the report. Emergency appendectomy. Patient succumbed under anesthesia.
I'd give a lot to know what really did cause that severe pain, Dr. Warren.
Yes, so would I. I'm going to ask your husband's permission to probe further and make some laboratory tests. Anything we can track down might prevent a repetition of this unfortunate business.
Hey, Dr. Mills, I hear things didn't go so good for that Graham woman.
No, things didn't, officer. Did you bring her husband with you?
Look, Doctor, when we first went in her house, she did mention her husband, didn't she?
She did. She said she tried to get her husband up, but nothing ever awakens them.
You sure of that, huh?
Certainly.
I went through that house from basement to attic, and no husband.
What? But you mentioned the husband, officer. He must have been in the house.
If he was, he didn't do any sleeping there last night. The only bed mucked up was the one she was sleeping in, and that was a single. There wasn't a twin bed in the room with the covers turned down. I guess it was ready for someone who never came home because of that fresh sheets on it that weren't even mussed.
Mills, do you suppose she thought her husband was there when he actually wasn't?
It's possible in her severe pain that she didn't realize that he hadn't come home.
Yes, it is possible. See here, officer. It's very important that we find her husband without any further delay. I'd appreciate it if you will check with some of the Graham neighbors and see if they can give you any information about it.
What, 4:45 in the morning?
I think it's very important that you should try to locate him, officer, without any further delay.
Okay. I'll go back to my beat, and when the sergeant comes around, I'll ask.
Good Lord, we've been all over the sergeant business before. Can't you do anything on your own initiative?
Sure I can. Providing the sergeant okays it.
Well, will you please get back to us as soon as possible with any information you can pick up? If you can't find her husband, find an next of kin. We've got to notify one of her relatives.
Right. If the sergeant okays my making an investigation, I'll report back to him and have him call the lieutenant.
The lieutenant?
Sure. All my reports clear through the sergeant, and he clears them through the lieutenant. That way, everything gets done faster, see?
No, I don't see.
Oh, never mind. World's full of red tape, Mills. Go on. We'll have to make a full report on this. I want a description of the operation right up to the point of death.
I want to look at that incision you made. Again, Dr. Warren, I want to satisfy myself that there is absolutely no inflammation of that appendix.
I think you'll prove that to yourself quickly enough.
Well, I'd be willing to bet that 99 out of 100 doctors in a similar situation and with similar symptoms would diagnose it as acute appendicitis.
Yes, but on the other hand, too many of us blame the appendix for all sorts of abdominal pains. I, for one, won't be caught again, I assure you.
Well, I sure wish they'd send someone else out in this case beside me.
Well, that's part of your internship, my boy. You'll have to learn to take all cases as they come, do your very best with each one of them. With your medical training and a great deal of care in diagnosis, your margin of success will be much greater than your margin of error.
That's all they can ask of any doctor. You're being very kind about this, and I appreciate it, Dr. Warren. Don't forget, I'm not an intern, and I made the same mistake. Here, let's examine that incision. I'll show you just how wrong. By George Mills. Dr. Warren, that incision. Someone's been here and... Been here is right. The entire inner stomach has been removed. Nurse, come in here.
What is it, Dr. Warren?
Who's been in this room?
Why, no one, Dr. Warren. Except her husband came in to identify the body.
Her husband?
Why, yes. Didn't you know he was here, Dr. Mills? He said he had your permission.
Her husband? Well, I never... Handle this, Mills. That's all, Miss Bates. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Warren.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes?
Call the district attorney's office. Ask him if he can get over here as quickly as possible.
It's pretty early in the morning, Dr. Warren, only a little after 5.
I know, but I think they'd better get him up.
All right. Is it something about Mrs. Graham or her husband?
If you don't mind, I'll save that for the district attorney, Miss Bates.
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Warren, I swear I never saw her husband. I haven't talked to anyone about this case except you and that police officer and Mrs. Graham herself. Whoever removed that stomach did a very professional job, Mills. But I'm no surgeon. Surely you don't think that I... Wait. What about... Oh, of course. I'm a surgeon, am I not? You have the audacity to insinuate that You came back in here. You were all alone for 10 minutes after she died. You had all the time in the world to... You've said enough. I might mention that you, too, spent some time here alone, Mills. You came in to pick up the charts and stayed rather longer than necessary. I am not a surgeon, Dr. Warren. And you yourself expressed the opinion that this is a very professional job. Look here, Mills, we're acting like children over this thing. We've allowed ourselves to be upset by the knowledge that there'll be an investigation made. We'll both be under suspicion, it's true, but if Miss Bates allowed Mrs. Graham's husband to come in here... Suppose the husband turns out to know nothing about surgery. Then we'll have to do some thorough investigating here at the hospital. They'll think one of us tried to cover our mistake. I'm not so sure. But in view of what's happened, I'm quite sure I know what caused her pain, Mills. So am I. Poison. Of course, poison. And whoever poisoned her didn't want it to be found in her stomach. The evidence has been removed. Then it's obvious that her husband knew she was poisoned. Seems even more obvious that he poisoned her. But we'll let the police make those kind of deductions. All we can say is that her husband was in this room alone, that her stomach was removed by means of expert surgery. He probably thought we'd never discover it. That's why we've got to keep this discovery very quiet. If he doesn't suspect that we know, it'll be much easier for the police to contact it.
Well, gentlemen, we got it all straightened out. The neighbors knew all about Mrs. Graham.
Well, close that door, officer. We don't want to disturb the other patients.
It didn't take the sergeant and me long to find out that she hasn't got a husband.
What? This thing's gone far enough, officer. You heard her mention her husband, and so did I.
Yes, and her husband actually came to this hospital tonight. What are you trying to give me? How can he come here? Alex Graham's been dead for 5 years.
Dead? Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. I even found a half-dozen neighbors who went to his funeral. He died suddenly in his sleep one night and made his wife go whacking. She tells everybody he isn't really dead, but just a heavy sleeper. Can you imagine that? When all our neighbors saw them put him in his grave.
But a man who claimed to be her husband came here tonight.
Yeah? Was he wearing a shroud and carrying a heart?
This is anything but funny, officer. Better call your sergeant and have the sergeant call the lieutenant and tell him to call out the whole police force. Death of Mrs. Graham looks like the most brazen kind of murder.
The Hidden Truth continues in just a moment. When did you first see this man?
He got off the elevator on the operating floor and came right to my desk, Mr. Allison. He was terribly distraught and seemed as though he'd been drugged.
Drugged?
Then I realized that it was something else. He seemed half asleep. I had trouble understanding.
This man told you that an officer told him his wife was here?
Yes.
Officer Elrath, is that true? Did you see her husband?
I did not. You know she hasn't got a husband. You saw the death record. He died 5 years ago.
Did you see anyone who claimed to be her husband? Did you tell anyone that Mrs. Graham was at this hospital?
I didn't see anyone. I didn't tell anyone, except the sergeant. I went through that house and found one bed that was slept in, and another one turned down like someone was expected, but it hadn't been slept in. Now, the neighbors told me...
I know. She refused to believe her husband had died, and every night turned his bed down for him just as though he'd actually come and sleep in it.
Yeah, the woman was nuts.
She might have been nuts, but when her husband died, he left her $100,000 worth of insurance. We can't find any record that she spent very much of it. What's happened to that money?
Got me. I didn't see it around the house, if that's what you mean.
If she was crazy enough to think her husband is still alive, she might be crazy enough to hide it somewhere instead of putting it in the bank. If someone found out about that money...
Sure. It'd be a simple matter to poison her, and after they carted her away, all you have to do is pick up the dough.
Might have been slow poison. Whoever did it probably didn't reckon with her being taken to a hospital. He was afraid they'd discover the poison here and took a very bold method of lifting the evidence. Elrath?
Yes, sir?
I want you to join my men at the Graham home. I want to be sure that nothing's been disturbed since you checked over the place last night.
Okay. I just hope I don't find somebody laying in that empty bed, that's all.
Hello, an outside wire, please. Beg your pardon? Oh, this is Charles Allison. I'd like my office, if you please. Yes, I'll wait.
The man was terribly shocked when I told him Mrs. Graham was dead. He couldn't seem to believe it and insisted on seeing the body. I took him as far as the door.
Hello? Allison. Looks like poison and possible robbery, Fred. But if it's poison, it's been removed, stomach and all. If it's robbery, we don't know what and how much. I'm going to play a hunch, Fred. I want you to go back 5 years and get out the records on Alec Graham, deceased. He left about $100,000 worth of insurance, and I'm going to have his body exhumed.
2 days later, District Attorney Charles Allison sat in my office. He was a very puzzled man.
Honestly, Keeler, if your lie detector can't unravel this mess, I'm not sure that anything can.
And let me see. 4 known suspects, 1 unknown.
Yes. 2 of them with obvious motives, 1 with a hypothetical motive.
As I understand it, Dr. Warren might have tampered with the body in order to take attention away from the fact that he shouldn't have operated in the first place.
Yes, and that intern Mills might have committed some blunder, such as giving her the wrong medicine and trying to cover.
There's the man who posed as her husband. How are you coming on that?
Nurse gave us a complete description, but so far we haven't gotten anywhere in tracking him down. Made a pretty thorough search of the Graham home, too. No evidence of poison, no evidence of robbery, not much evidence of any kind. Except that we're quite certain no man lived in that house.
About her husband's body, you were going to have that exhumed, I understand.
Yes.
Well, suppose you find evidence of murder in the death of Alec Graham. That would take the case back 5 years. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Keeler. Oh, yes, he's here. For you, Allison.
Thanks. Hello? What? Well, that's incredible. Are you absolutely sure? Well, I'm going right out there. I've got to see that for myself.
Such a break for you, Allison?
Keeler, there's no body in that grave.
There's what?
They just finished opening that grave a few minutes ago, and the body is gone, coffin and all.
While Charles Allison concentrated on the search for the missing body of Alec Graham and the mysterious person who posed as Alec Graham, I went about the business of running polygraph deception tests on the known personalities in the case. Now, your name is Edgar Warren.
It is.
Just answer yes or no, please.
Well, it's an interesting machine, Mr. Keeler. Blood pressure curve, pulse rate, respiratory curve, and measurement of skin resistance.
Yes, I'm glad you're familiar with this operation. Actually, the more you know about the polygraph, the more difficult it is to beat.
I see.
Shall we continue?
Yes. By all means.
Is your name Edgar Warren?
Yes.
Dr. Edgar Warren?
Yes.
Do you live in this city?
Yes.
Have you had something to eat today?
Yes.
Did you perform an appendectomy on Mrs. Alec Graham?
I started to, but she succumbed on the table.
Just yes or no, please. Dr. Warren, did you remove Mrs. Graham's stomach?
No.
You're quite sure you've eaten today?
Yes.
You're sure you didn't remove that stomach in order to take attention away from your misdiagnosis?
What the devil are you getting at, man? I'm head surgeon at this hospital. Are you questioning my integrity?
You know about that operation, Dr. Warren. You're covering up for someone. Now, Dr. Mills, any discussion will only delay the test. Please answer my questions with either a yes or a no. Understand?
I understand.
Go ahead. Is your name Thomas Mills?
Yes.
Dr. Thomas Mills?
Yes.
You live in this city?
Yes.
No, I did not. I had nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing.
Now, Miss Bates, you understand the procedure.
Yes, I understand, Miss Keeler.
Is your name Eleanor Bates?
Yes.
You're a registered nurse?
Yes.
You've had considerable experience with operating techniques, haven't you?
No.
Have you eaten today?
Yes.
You've had quite a bit of experience in operating techniques, haven't you, Miss Bates?
I have not.
Yes? Do you want to continue the test, or do you think we can talk without the polygraph?
Turn it off. Please turn it off.
I hope you're sure of what you're doing, Keeler.
We'll soon know, Ellison. We'll soon know.
Suppose this body is buried down here in the basement of his own home. How did it get here?
Well, I hope to answer that question as soon as Elrod gets back.
All right, hold it. By George, Keeler, there is a coffin down here. But don't tell me Mrs. Graham buried it here herself.
Well, here's your full report, Ellison. Number 1, Dr. Warren.
Anything on him?
No, except that he knows who performed that extracurricular operation. He was trying to protect a member of his staff. He suspected this person wanted to handle it in his own way.
Dr. Mills.
No. According to his polygram, Dr. Mills is a very serious young intern who seems to have good judgment and has every intention of becoming a top-flight physician.
And what member of the staff had reason?
Eleanor Bates.
What? The nurse?
Yes. It was she who removed that stomach and gave it to the man who called at the hospital that night.
But why? What's the incentive for a thing like that?
$5,000.
Uh-huh.
The man who came to the hospital that night was Henry Sellers, an undertaker in this city.
An undertaker?
Yes. He was the undertaker who originally buried Alec Graham. During the embalming, he noticed traces of arsenic and went to Mrs. Graham with his accusation.
You know? You found out?
Yes, I know, Mrs. Graham. You poisoned your husband for his insurance, didn't you?
If you'll bury him without disclosing what you found, I'll pay you $5,000, Mr. Sellers.
10,000.
All right, 10,000.
As months went by, Mrs. Graham began to have hallucinations about her husband. Her mind gave way gradually. She wanted her husband close to her.
If you were to bribe the grave diggers late at night and bring my husband's body to my house,
That'll be very expensive, Mrs. Graham. If anyone should find out and become suspicious that your husband's death was not caused by a heart attack.
I'm prepared to pay, Mr. Sellers. I'm prepared to pay.
But the death of Mrs. Graham, Keeler.
Sellers grew increasingly more greedy. He knew that Mrs. Graham had a small fortune hidden somewhere. And if he could get her out of the way... Oh, Alra, bring him in.
only she died at home where she was supposed to die, you never would have found out. You never would have suspected.
Where's that money, Sellers? What did you do with Mrs. Graham's money?
You'll find it buried in the cemetery.
Keeler, I'm becoming more and more convinced if every potential criminal knew he'd have to reckon with the lie detector, I don't think there'd be many criminals left in the world, potential or any other kind.